Alex McCord, and you're watching The Real Deal on thestir.com. Today we are discussing the premiere of Season 6 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and oh yeah, the Housewives of Miami as well. Well, there's a reason that the Atlanta Housewives are the highest rated city of the whole franchise. I mean, the drama down there is unreal. Oh well, actually, I think maybe it is kind of real, or at least more real than some of the others. Here's what I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing a lot of manufacturing, and I like that. Is it the casting? Is it the big, huge, loud Southern personalities, and some of them love each other and some of them naturally hate each other? Now, I've never watched Atlanta before. Season 6 is my first, so you have to let me know if I'm off base in the comments. Let's get started with Porsha Stewart and her divorce. So the way the storyline was presented in episode 1 was really fast, really far, and I'm not sure it was believable at the end. First, Porsha is devastated that he filed for divorce, and she found out about it on Twitter. Second, she wants to make a list of behaviors that, if changed, will call off the divorce. Now, I'm not sure why Porsha thinks that will work, since her husband Cordell filed for divorce, not her. When he doesn't agree to her list, shocker, suddenly she thinks, all along, he's been gay. What? While that's a drama-laden accusation, I feel like the producers had to pack so much backstory into one episode that this kind of came out of nowhere. It happened so fast it gave me whiplash. I seriously doubt being gay is the reason. More likely, it's the reason Candy's fiance Todd hinted at, that the Housewives' curse broke up that marriage, not any other reason. Let's sidebar on the Housewives' curse for a moment. We saw Todd hint about it in Atlanta, and last week, the original housewife of Orange County, Vicki Gunvalson, actually flat out told Digital Spy that doing Housewives broke up her marriage to Don. Now, sometimes if a woman who stayed at home before goes into the workforce, goes to work in an office, that can change the dynamic in the marriage. Now, with Vicki, obviously, she'd been working full-time, but her second job was as a housewife. And when you add to it that job in Porsha's case, or the second job in Vicki's case, is a public one, on television, the woman becomes a celebrity and the man is expected to stay in the background and be quiet, even though the fact that his wife is on TV drastically affects him and his business. That woman is often encouraged to choose the ladies in the show over her man. All of this adds up to not only a curse, but a disaster. Now, back to Atlanta. I wondered how they would show the timeline for NeNe's wedding spinoff to the Atlanta Housewives, and they did it just right. Episode 1 of Atlanta picked up seamlessly right after NeNe's wedding. What that means is nobody in Atlanta is getting any sleep. Now, NeNe's wedding was at the end of June, and gossip articles seem to confirm that they didn't start filming Atlanta until after the wedding. That means they banged out a season from July to October and got it straight on the air at the beginning of November. That is the fastest turnaround I've ever heard of in Housewives history. I mean, that probably means that people are seeing rough cuts, they were proving things with maybe not seeing the final product. The girls might not be getting their screener DVDs in advance. I noticed nobody has their blogs up. I'm wondering if they're even seeing it. So far, quality control looks good, despite the lightning speed. We'll see whether there are any hiccups along the way. And I'm sure that that means that they're still editing and even filming interviews for the second half of the season. Now, that happened in New York Season 3 when Jill Zarin went down as the mean girl. Filming interviews while the show is already airing gives you a chance to see how the viewers are reacting to you and your storyline. And if you do it right, you have an opportunity for damage control. I wonder if anyone will take that opportunity. Perhaps Kenya Moore? I mean, could you believe the fight with NeNe? Do you think that Kenya is flat out crazy, just grabbing for airtime, or both? I will say this, thanks to Kenya and Cynthia Bailey, I had to go Google coochie crack. I did not find it in the Miss USA handbook. Now, it wouldn't be Housewives without playing She's Delusional. I wanted to launch myself through the TV and hit somebody when I saw how Phaedra was being dumped on. See, there's this thing that'll happen where they try to make a girl look delusional because everything she says in a confessional interview is directly contradicted with the reality footage they show. In other words, she's out of touch with reality. The baby is quiet. No, he's not. She says the first moments of the baby's life are special. Cut to reality where she's calling him Michael Jackson and making fun of him. Or she says the toddler loves the baby. Cut to the toddler screaming, "No, I don't want to touch him!" It drives me crazy when the producers do that, particularly when it comes to children. Don't forget, that confessional interview with Phaedra would have been filmed after they got the raw footage, so they knew what questions to ask. Sometimes when you sit in an interview chair, you can think, are they trying to set me up? In this case, Phaedra fell for it. Finally, Atlanta was not the only Housewives show to air last night. We also had the pre-finale of Miami, with the finale airing just one day later, tonight, after the premieres of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Vanderpump Rules. So what's up? Are they trying to dump it? I mean, I will kind of say, I was thinking stick a fork in it, it's done. When you see the best and the worst of the Housewives franchises back to back, it becomes glaringly obvious that there's something not working with Miami. So what is it? Is it the cast? Because they don't really seem to relate to one another, except for Adriana and Leah. Are they all afraid? Because that kind of seems like it's happening. First of all, they seem like they're afraid to do anything wrong on camera. They don't want to look bad. But they also seem like they're being browbeaten by producers in the background, you know, every time before they film, saying, you better bring it. It just seems so stilted. I mean, you get little bits of niceness from Adriana and Leah, and that's really it. And we've still got the wedding plus 2 reunions to get through. So this week, we see Joanna Kruppa's bachelorette weekend in Vegas before they all go to San Diego for the wedding. By the way, this is the 5th wedding in 6 weeks on Bravo. Can we please have a wedding timeout for a little bit, at least until Candy's wedding, please? So the first 45 minutes of this episode were boring, until Lisa Hochstein got naked wasted. The other girls weren't far behind her either, but maybe that's the problem with Miami. Maybe they just don't drink enough. Lisa stopped it with the manufactured drama about trouble in paradise with her husband. I wasn't buying that for a minute. She climbed the pole, she climbed the male strippers, she climbed Adriana and Joanna, and all of that was highly entertaining. But the winner of this episode for me was, ta-da, Alexia Echevarria. Who knew? She's a good girl so much of the time, but you get her away from her family and her job, get a few drinks in her, and she opened right up. She got the Thug in a Cocktail Dress award. She said, I don't need a pole to have personality. She told Lisa she's not sure if she's a man or a woman. Ugh, Alexia was speaking her Dom Perignon truth, and it was fabulous. Now, apparently, there was a lot more crazy drama that came out about Lisa Hochstein at the reunion, so we have to get through the wedding so that we can get to the reunions and find out what happened. So, what did you think of Atlanta's premiere? Are you excited for Beverly Hills tonight? And, given her expertise on the pole, do you think that Lisa Hochstein was ever a stripper in real life? Let me know what you thought in the comments. For now, I'm Alex McCord. You are watching The Real Deal on thestir.com. See you next time.